أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. Sham-e-Ghareeban is here. There is no Ali Akbar, there is no Abbas, there is no Hussein. Zainab now is trying to keep the children calm. For 10 nights now we have done our best that in this unique Muharram to still uphold the rights of Imam Hussein, cry for him like we cried for every other year. We cried alone, we cried by ourselves, but the tears never stopped. I ask you, Allah, to accept the tears of those men who cried for the men of Hussein. I ask you, Allah, to accept the tears of those women who cried for the women of Hussein. I ask you, Allah, to accept the tears of those kids who cried, maybe for the first time, for the kids of Hussein. Umar ibn Saad, it wasn't enough that he killed Imam Hussein hungry and thirsty. It wasn't enough that he separated his body from his head. It was at that moment in Sham-e-Ghareeban that announcement was made that I need 10 volunteers to come forward and change the hooves on their horses. 10 men came forward with their horses ready. Umar ibn Saad then gives instructions, I want 5 horses on the right of Hussein's body, 5 horses on the left of Hussein's body. Umar ibn Saad says, on my command. And at that moment now, with Zainab watching the body of Hussein, the headless body of Hussein, the command of Umar ibn Saad is given. 5 horses from the right move to the left, 5 from the left move to the right. Underneath all this was Hussein's body, the khak of Karbala in the air. The body of the grandson of the Prophet is being trampled. One Mal'un narrates, by Allah, when my horse trampled the body of Hussein, I could hear the cracking of his ribs. The enemies then move towards the Qayem. They begin looting the children. The first tent is set on fire. All the women and the children move to the second tent. The second tent is set on fire. The third tent is set on fire. Hamid ibn Muslim, a reporter on the plains of Karbala, says that I saw the daughter of Ali move towards a tent that was now set on fire. It's almost as if there was something inside that tent that she had to take out. She didn't know how to go in. So she would move forward, move back, move forward, move back. Finally, I saw the shuja'at of Haidar al-Karrar inside of her. She enters the khayma, that burning tent, and now she begins and she brings a bimari Karbala, Imam Sajjad, now out of that tent. My salams to you, Zainab. You're carrying Imamat all the way back from the tent and into safety. Now all of a sudden every tent is on fire. There's children everywhere. Zainab is trying to keep everything calm. There's chaos everywhere. And one thing that Hussein told Zainab on Asr Ashur, Zainab, I'm leaving you my amanat of Sakina. Look after her, care for her. She's my sukoon. She's my contentment in that chaos, in that darkness. She can't find Sakina. Where is Sakina? Where is Sakina? At that moment now, a voice from the Maidan of Karbala, from the body of Hussein, the trampled body of Hussein. Zainab, keep it down a little bit. My Sakina just fell asleep on my chest. How is it possible that you could identify that was your body? Sakina then later on said, I saw the fires in the tent. I ran out to the Maidan of Karbala. Baba, please protect me. Baba, please save me. The men are slapping my face. The men are ripping my earrings. She didn't know where I was. She couldn't recognize me. At that moment I said, Ya Bunayya, Ilayya, come my Sakina. Come my Sakina. Come my Sakina. Bibi Zainab now. Take Sakina back to the Khaymah. Children everywhere. It's at that moment now where Umar bin Saad says, let's get this qafla ready to go back to Kufa and Sham. I just want to mention one last point. Then Antama Sidwa, I don't have the dumb to read anymore. You don't have the dumb to listen to this anymore. Just one last point, and please accept my du'as. One Mal'un narrates in all of the different books. I was with this qafla of the Bani Hashim from the moment they arrived in Karbala to when they went to Kufa, to when they went to Sham, to when they went back to Karbala, back to Medina. I remembered every cry. I remembered everything. But over the years, I forgot everything. But the one cry that I could never forget, there's this one specific cry that still haunts me years after the event of Karbala. What is that cry? This qafla now is being taken of the women and Imam Sajjad through the Maidan of Karbala. Umar bin Saad wants them to see the Shahada they're leaving behind. Now as the qafla approaches this Maidan where the Shahada are now lying on the ground, there comes a moment now where the qafla is slowly approaching the trampled headless body of Hussein. Zainab now begins to look at that body. She can't stop looking at that body. And then at that moment now, she yells out this question, Anta akhi, is that you, Bhaiya? Is that you, Bhaiya? Is that you, Bhaiya? And that shriek of Zainab that she lets out was that shriek that the Mal'un says that I will never be able to forget. The journey now begins from Karbala to Kufa, Kufa to Sham. Zainab, your Ashura has begun. Zainab, now this mission is tere hawale. You take it now from Karbala to Kufa, Kufa to Sham. مات من حسين يا حسين